what trading strategy should you trade in 2024? There's literally millions of strategies out there. If you go onto YouTube, you type in trading strategy for beginners, you'll come across thousands of videos, each of them teaching a different strategy, each of them teaching a different methodology, some of them teaching smart money, some of them teaching indicators, price action, divergence, like just a whole bunch of stuff out there on the internet. But which one should you trade? Which one works? Which one is the best? What is the route you should be taking? Now, I know nowadays it's so confusing. We're in a space right now in the trading industry where there's such a large amount of access to information, which is a blessing for newbies getting into the market because they can learn from so many people. But it also makes it kind of confusing and complicated to really focus in and refine and actually understand, what should I be putting my time, attention, and energy into? Now, in this video, I'm going to be clearing up for you exactly what strategy you should learn and what strategies kind of work for some people and don't work for other people. Now, first and foremost, you need to understand that a lot of strategies do work. There's no one holy grail. There's no one system that works and everything else doesn't work. It's not just ICT and it's not like smart money versus retail. It's none of this stuff on the internet. Anyone who does tell you that their system is the only system that works is either trying to sell you on their strategy and their program and stuff of that nature, or they're just delusional and they just don't understand how the wider market works. But I promise you, everything works to a certain extent. Smart money works, retail trading works, like supply and demand works, price action works, indicators work, everything works to a certain extent. You're going to have some scenarios where a strategy plays out and some scenarios where a strategy doesn't play out, and that's simply the idea of probability distribution. So do not fixate on finding the one secret strategy, because there is no secret strategy. You can literally trade anything. Now, what you actually want to trade is entirely dependent on who you are as a person and your personality profile is what I call it. Now, what I mean by that is you want to find a strategy that fits your psychology well. You want to find something that makes sense for you and you find it easy to understand. For example, some people are very analytical. They like to know why things happen. They like to understand why movements are, etc., etc. They want a very clear, defined answer as to what is happening, and they like to understand things from a very analytical standpoint. So for people like this, they generally tend to gravitate towards smart money concepts. They tend to gravitate towards ICT, and they like the very technical approach of this candle's moving because of this and this and this, and they have an answer to literally every single question. Some people hate that approach and they think it's too analytical and it's too much analysis and it confuses them and it just complicates it more than it's necessary. Equally, some people prefer a very simple and easy approach to the market. They're just trading price action, market structure, trading with the trend, or trading based off a very simple indicator, because it just works with their psychology a little bit better. So again, what you need to go ahead and do is backtest a couple of different strategies and learn a couple of different methodologies. Now, I don't say sit there and learn everything under the sun, because that will take you forever, but have a little play around, see what you naturally gravitate towards. Do you like using indicators? Do you like having something physically on the chart telling you, okay, price is looking to do this, and acting off of that information? Do you want a very clear-cut understanding of why price is moving the way it's moving and trying to understand it from an institutional standpoint? Do you not care about any of that and you just want to keep your trading simple so you can focus on your psychology? Dependent on who you are as a person, you probably already have an idea in your head as to where you're gravitating towards. For me personally, and again, this is my personal preference, I like keeping my trading stupidly simple. I like trading just clean price action, trading market structure, and just trading with the trend and momentum, because it allows me to focus my time, attention, and energy on the psychology, which is obviously 99% of trading. So for me, I just found that's the best solution for me personally. Now, another point you want to kind of consider is what is the average risk to reward ratio of the strategy you're trading. Now, this is super important, and a lot of people don't deep this too much, but your risk to reward ratio is more than likely going to determine your win rate. The higher your risk reward ratio is, the lower your win rate tends to be. So for example, someone trading a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio, maybe let's say is winning 30% of the time, which is still a pretty high win rate for that risk reward ratio. Now, this is still profitability. That can still equal a lot of money, but you need to understand that if your win rate is below 50%, that means you're obviously going to be losing more than you're winning, and these losses can come consecutively. For example, if I have a 30% win rate, that means out of 10 trades, I lose 7 of them and I only win 3. Now, those 7 losses can come consecutively. I can take a trade, lose it, take a trade, lose it, take a trade, lose it, so on and so forth. Now, yes, when I do have my 3 winners, it will make back all of my losses plus put me into profit. But it's, can you maintain your psychology and can you maintain your psyche throughout those 7 losses? A lot of people cannot facilitate taking a bunch of consecutive losses and maintaining faith in the system, maintaining faith in their psychology, maintaining faith in the process, and they fuck up because they've just taken a bunch of losses. And for me personally, when I used to trade a super high RR strategy, I couldn't deal with taking consecutive losses, and it used to really mess me up and kind of set me on the back foot. So I had to trade a different strategy with a smaller RR and a higher win rate to maintain a higher, like a win rate. Yeah, higher win rate. I needed to win more than I was losing to really remain faithful and kind of stay motivated and like trust the process and all of that. And even though it kind of equals out to the same profit in either case scenario, for me it just worked a lot better and it equaled out to more profitability. So that's definitely another major aspect you should. One major key for you newbie traders watching this who are looking for a trading strategy to trade is don't strategy hop. Don't just trade something for like a month period, be like, this is not working, this is not producing the results I want it to produce, and going ahead and trading a different strategy. Because if you continuously do that, you're just going to get trapped in the trading cycle of doom and be forever strategy hopping and kind of going through this distribution cycle where you're just losing money. You make a little bit, you lose a little bit, and it just puts you in this like endless like loop. So you really want to give your strategy or the system you're trading, I would say at least 3 to 6 months of real data. And that's besides the backtesting and the data collection you should be doing beforehand before you even come into a live market. But give your strategy enough time to actually produce the numbers it should be producing. And not only that, but you need to be journaling the positions you're taking with a new strategy that you're trading. Because without doing that, you do not know whether or not you're trading the system correctly. You don't know whether or not you're applying the methodology correctly. You don't know a bunch of variable factors that could be messing you up or could be like actually assisting you in your trading. So you need to be keeping track of the data. I say this so often, and I know still like 90% of the traders that watch these videos do not journal because they can't be bothered, because it takes a little bit of effort, because it's after the fact. It's just laziness, to be honest. But you need to be journaling, especially as a new trader. As you're trying to pick up a new strategy in the system, without journaling, you're literally just guessing. Like you have no idea what's actually happening. Do yourself a favor, and from day number 1, keep a super detailed, strict trading journal. Keep track of literally everything. Keep track of the numbers. Keep track of when you're opening positions, when you're closing them, your average profit, your average loss, etc. There's a bunch of softwares out there that can help you with this. TradeZella is like an automatic trade journal. I personally journal on like Google Drive and Google Documents. I screenshot the trading view page and I write underneath it, or I leave a little like voice note, and I find that works best for me. But I promise you, you need to be doing this, especially as a new trader. I can't stress it enough. You need to be doing this. Cool. Now, just to kind of summarize the video, there's no one trading strategy, there's no one methodology, there's nothing I can really recommend for you. Again, I can only speak from my personal experience and what has worked for me. And for me personally, I didn't like ICT, I didn't like the whole smart money approach. It really confused it for me, it made it super complicated, I found it too technical, and it seemed very unnecessary, because we were essentially trading the same levels as just a support and resistance strategy, in my opinion. Now, I know a bunch of people are going to hate that, but it is what it is. Again, that might work for you, and that might be your approach, and that might mesh well with your psychology. But for me personally, I just didn't understand it, I didn't rate it, etc. I did take certain elements and apply it within my price action strategy, but generally speaking, just pure price action for me. Very easy 1 to 2 system, keeping my win rate very, very high. And just reducing the possibility for me to have a psychology lapse and to break my psychology and go on a long extended sort of losing streak. But anyways, that's it for the video. I'll catch you guys maybe even later today. I might even drop another banging video today.